All America, all the time. Sit down, buckle up, and get ready for The Dan Bongino Show.
You know, I missed you guys this weekend. I always do. I feel like there's like a void left in my life when I'm not here, but I think you all understand and embrace the fact that you're no good to your family, your community, or anyone else if you're just working all the time and not actually living your life and, I guess, but taking care of yourself and enjoying a social network. The only reason I say that is this is not the Dan Bongino 12-step self-help hour. It's never going to be that kind of show. It's a show about politics and culture, and we love being here. We love talking to you. But I will say this. I had a blast this weekend. This is not like a huge weekend update. Friday night, I was down south a little bit of here. I was at a friend's house. And by the way, this involved like no alcohol on my part at all Friday night. I'm like, I'm only going to have a couple drinks, maybe one night a week. And that's it. Friday was not that night. Okay. I just throw that out there in advance. And I'm sitting around the table in this guy's backyard. And it's like 11 o'clock at night. And it's me, two dentists, a lawyer, this business owner guy, and a Navy SEAL. Well, it's not a joke. Justin's like, they walk into a bar. I swear that was the crowd. Man, 3 hours. The ladies were inside doing it. It was like, it was the best night ever. Smoking cigars, talking smack, ripping on each other. It was just guy stuff. I don't know, like testosterone was overflowing or what, but it was awesome. Enjoy your friends, man. That's life. You don't need big exotic vacations are cool, awesome. Travel if you can, but you don't need any of that shit. You don't. You just need a good group of friends and get out and hang, man. It was awesome. We had a good time this weekend, but I did miss you guys because there's a lot to cover. I warned you last week. President Trump's speech on Thursday night, we had a huge crowd on Friday, 60,000 plus people here on a Friday in the summer, which is almost impossible on a live stream to do at 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. We did it. You all showed up. I said, don't bury the lead on President Trump's speech. There are two huge takeaways from what he said. And again, it's getting lost in the Trump derangement syndrome media maelstrom. Number one, information ops from China and elsewhere, psyops being conducted on you, information warfare are happening right now. Right now. He was clear on that about China, what they've stolen, what they're doing. And it's not just China. Second, we don't have safe elections. We have nothing. I'm going to show you today what information warfare looks like and how some, not you in my audience, but there are some people who tune in who probably hate my guts. I'm going to show you how you've probably been sucked into this too. It's going to be clear as day. Big show today. Hey, many Americans try those weight loss shots, but they quit due to side effects, cost. Instead, I chose Lean from Brickhouse Nutrition. I lost 30 pounds on it. People ask me all the time, does the product work? You're damn right it does. It works for me and Paula. No needles, no prescriptions. Go to brickhousenutrition.com/Dan. Pick up a bottle of Lean, Lean. Use code Dan for 20% off. Results vary. Not FDA approved. It's a great product. Today's show also brought to you by Patriot Mobile. I just saw someone in the chat. They're there. You can look it up yourself. Say, Dan, thanks for the Patriot Mobile recommendation. It's an absolutely fantastic service. Go check it out. I'm not making it up. It is a great service. I use it myself. You think these wireless companies are all the same? They're not. A lot of these companies honestly just hate your guts. They hate the Christian conservative movement. Patriot Mobile was allying with the Christian conservative, faith-based, constitutional movement in the United States before it was fashionable or hip to do so. They were doing it when there was a big cancel culture war going on. They offer premium priority nationwide service on any of the three major U.S. networks, helping you get the best possible coverage wherever life takes you. With Patriot Mobile, I have this. You can even have two separate networks on a single device, eliminating the need to carry multiple phones and giving you peace of mind you can't get with other carriers. You need internet on the go? They can help you there too. Patriot Mobile Wi-Fi hotspots connect to multiple networks to help keep you connected while traveling or working remotely. They also offer international roaming, enterprise solutions for businesses that need dependable connectivity, and U.S.-based customer support. Keep your number. Keep your phone. That was very dramatic. Keep your number. Keep your phone or upgrade. Switch from your home or office. It takes just a few minutes. Call Patriot Mobile. Talk to real people right here in America. Superior coverage, superior products, superior custom support. Patriot Mobile. Go to patriotmobile.com/Dan or call 972-PATRIOT. Use promo code Dan for a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/Dan or call 972-PATRIOT today. Thank you, Patriot Mobile. All right, fellas, let's go. Man, I'm really dramatic today, right? They're like, Andy's like, chill, bro. It's Monday morning. Like, Andy's still shaking off the weekend cobwebs. Looks like he shaved a bit, too. I'm a little into the show because Thursday night, President Trump's speech was a game changer. There were things I could not talk about before that speech. And there are still things ongoing, again, for all the asshole doomer and grifters out there who don't know anything and pretend they know. There are still things ongoing I can't talk about and will not. It'd be disingenuous. I didn't go into the government to make money off of like, hey, tune in tomorrow. I'm going to let you in on secrets. No, leave that for like the D-bag crowd. That ain't me, okay? However, President Trump's speech opened the door, and of course the media is ignoring it, on two huge things. He mentioned first that China and other entities are out there stealing massive troves of information. He mentioned the voter database. That's one component of it, yes. And that they're using this information to manipulate the American public to believe things that aren't true. Point one, huge takeaway info ops. Point two, our elections are not as secure as they should be. Not everywhere in the country. Florida does a very good job. A lot of red states do a very good job. However, we have 50 separate laboratories of democracy. Some are not choosing democracy. They're choosing cheating, like California, where the system's easy to cheat in. Ballot harvesting, mail-in ballots, it's all BS. So those are the two takeaways. Be careful about our elections and watch out for information ops. If you missed Friday's show, please check it out. I went into detail about things I can talk about now finally and how things are still ongoing. But the information op, I want you to see the biggest information op going on right now that so many people are getting sucked into. It's just incredible you don't see it. I warned about this. The biggest information op going on right now is this war on democracy in general and civilization. Dan, that doesn't help. That's like a big statement. That's like saying the sky's blue. No, I'm not kidding. How many times have I posted on X and True Social? How many times have I put this out there? In a war, and if you can pick a side between civilization and the savages, pick civilization. It's not by accident. There is an information war going on right now to destroy any representative democracy anywhere on earth. The United States, Israel, any company that does not subscribe to an Islamo-fanatic totalitarianism, they are using the proxy argument of Israel and the Jews because they know it ignites people's passions. But it's not Justin, did I not tell you this morning before the show? We had like this 20-minute conversation. He knows it. I promise you, this is not about the Jews or Israel. You think it is. Dan, why are you so passionate about this? Because their line, the Islamo-fanatics, trying to indoctrinate through information ops people into fighting their own liberty and freedom and fighting against civilization. Their line is first we get the Saturday people, then we get the Sunday people. They don't care if you're Jewish. Here's what they care about. You are not an Islamo-Nazi. You're an infidel. Listen to me, folks. I'm telling you, we hate the Jews. They hate everybody. Yes, they reserve special ire for the Jews, but they hate you too. That's the point. They're trying to sucker you into this. I'm going to prove it to you right now. First we get the Saturday people, then we get the Sunday people. It's you too. They will cut your head off too. I've been warning you about this for 10 years. Why are you so passionate about this? Because I like my head attached to my body. It works better there. Correct? Decapitation, I don't want my head cut off. I just don't. You shouldn't want yours either. It doesn't work well separated from the rest of your lumbar and thoracic spine. It just doesn't. It just doesn't work that way. It's not like starfish, like we can regrow one of the That doesn't work that way. Remember this article I put out last week? Here's the op right here. The Islamo-Nazis and anti-American commies, they are, as David Horowitz calls them, an unholy alliance. Communists, socialists, Nazis, and Islamo-fanatics are all in the same tent together. Why? Why, Justin? Who is their common enemy? Their common enemy is you. Anyone who is not an Islamo-Nazi and anyone who believes that totalitarianism is the enemy. The Islamo-fanatic ideology revolves around totalitarianism. You will submit. If you believe in a representative democracy, I will not submit. I have a choice too. You're the enemy. They don't care if you're a Jew. Here, put up the ICC article and I'll show you what I mean. The International Criminal Court is the biggest freaking scam in human history. It's a scam. Leave this up, please, a second. Don't take it down. I put up this piece last week. The left, the socialists, progressives, Islamo-Nazis, all of these people out there, the Mamdamis, they're all in the same tent. They want you in jail. They can't do it in the United States. Well, they can try, and they've tried before, but the systems still hold a bit. If they get the International Criminal Court, they're going to be locking up everyone who doesn't subscribe to it. Look, Rubio takes on the International Criminal Court. Why do you think Marco Rubio, who's very careful with his time and the president's time, has made a priority about this? Listen to this line. Folks, if you missed this on Friday, write this down. Screenshot it. The International Criminal Court's allies signal that they intend to target President Trump once his term ends. Justin, is President Trump Jewish? He is he's not. Okay, that's interesting to know because they're targeting President Trump, the International Criminal Court, which the left loves because it's a tyranny court, it's a star chamber. As the reaction to Mr. Rubio confirms, the European Union, that has a lot of socialists and commies too, won't say as much aloud, but called U.S. attacks on the court and threats on the court, quote, simply not acceptable. So all the globalists and the Islamo-Nazis and the progressives and the fascists and the leftist lunatics and the Democratic socialists and the Bernie Sanders people, they all love the International Criminal Court, but they hate our court system here. They'll attack the Supreme Court in a heartbeat if the ruling doesn't go there. Weird, huh? They love the ICC because the ICC, the enemy of my enemy is my friend and their enemy is freedom. The unholy alliance between communist Nazis and Islamo fanatics. Their enemy is freedom and liberty and civilization and anywhere it exists. They cannot conquer human beings when human beings get a vote. They can't do it. This is the most important intro I've ever done. Please listen to me. I get this all the time. Why are you always talking about Israel and the Jews? Because it's not about that. My gosh, how many freaking terrorists and mutts and PDBs I've read. They say this. They openly talk about. They don't care if you're a Jew or a Christian or a Protestant. All they care about is you are not them. They mention the Jews because they think it's easy clickbait and can get stupid people to go along with their plan. So, the International Criminal Court, which the leftist unholy alliance loves because it can bypass any democratic institutions we have here, any of them. It's weird that Mamdani, who's a communist himself, they were just talking about in the ICC. Rubio's taking on the ICC because they want Trump. They also want Netanyahu. Oh, now you mentioned Netanyahu. You put him in jail, get him in. They don't care about him. They care about anyone who's not them. They just know that'll get the ire of a bunch of stupid people. Oh, we love the ICC now. They want Israel, Bibi Netanyahu, too. You don't have to like Bibi Netanyahu. You're not, anyway. I've been openly critical of a lot of Israeli politicians, including Ehud Barak and others in the past. This is an America First show, but I believe it's in our interest to protect democratic institutions overseas that defend liberty and freedom and values where we can use that relationship for us. I want you to listen to Mamdani talk. I got 2 clips from this interview this weekend. Obviously didn't plan this because the interview just aired this weekend. And I put the ICC clip piece on the show last week. Here's Mamdani, again, talking about their love affair with the ICC. This is an op. This is a total psyop being run on you with the anti-Semitic entry point as the vehicle to come after you too, whether you're a Jew or not. They don't give a shit. Check this out.
Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is perhaps planning to visit New York for the UN General Assembly. You pledged during your campaign and after you won to order his arrest to comply with the International Criminal Court warrant. What will happen if he comes in September?
Look, I believe that Prime Minister Netanyahu belongs in The Hague. He's a war criminal who has been charged by the International Criminal Court. And what you will find is that is an opinion that is held by many purely because of what his actions have wrought over these last many years. I've also said that I will follow the laws that we have here in New York City because I believe that there's an importance in following the law as a leader who presides over our city, and that's something that I plan to do.
Meaning? I'm sorry, I don't understand what that means.
Meaning that whatever the law allows me to do in New York City, that's what we will do, but we won't be writing our own laws to that end.
This guy is a huge problem. Why? The unholy alliance of these two parties. What are they? I don't give pop quizzes. You're not obligated to take them, but I hope you remember what I just said. The Islamo-fanatics and the communists love each other. It's a totally different ideology. So why do they love each other? Because they both have the same end game. The same end game is this: kill, destroy, wreck the infidels and their institutions that give them power. That's it. They will attack each other and have in the past when power becomes an issue for them and they wipe us out. But they're not at that point yet. Mamdani is both for now. He's using communism to promote this Islamo-fanatic ideology, and he's using communism as a vehicle. And he understands he can use the theme of Israel and the evil Jews to get a bunch of impressionable people to think that this small country, the size of like New Jersey, is the cause of all your problems. He knows it. He's saying the same thing the people going after Trump are saying. Trump's not a Jew. Lock him up with the ICC. Use globalist institutions to dismantle liberty and freedom everywhere and get the suckers to fall in line. Here's part 2 of this same interview where he mentions this insane talking point of arresting Netanyahu in New York City. Ladies and gentlemen, when I was a young agent with the Secret Service, right? You get stuck in DPD a lot, the Dignitary Protection Division details. They'll bring you in from a field office during the UN, where just about every head of state is in New York. Do you know how many tyrants and thugs we protect at the UN? Because it's the seat of, I'm not a big fan of the UN, obviously, but it's designed, at least in theory, which rarely works, to be some international hub of diplomacy. Therefore, we let a lot of shitheads into the country for the UN General Assembly because shitheads and like to talk to other shitheads. It's true. Notice they're only calling for the arrest of Mamdani, not when we had the Iranian scumbags here. They just want to arrest. It's because it's not about him. They know suckers will hear Israel Netanyahu. We love the ICC. Arrest him. You're next, so's Trump. This is an op. You're being played for a mother fool. They're telling you. It's the same freaking group of people who want everybody dead that's not them, the infidels. Do we play part 2 yet? We didn't. Here's part, sorry. I mean, Justin's like, you're 20 minutes in, you're going to get to part 2. Maybe. This is part 2. Quick. Here's Mamdani again, bringing up the crazy idea of having the NYPD arrest Netanyahu. Does this guy not realize the second, if this applies now, and the rules of diplomacy are thrown out of the window, dip notes, diplomatic immunity are thrown out of the window, the second Mamdani travels to a country with a different ideology, he'll be arrested too. He doesn't care. He just wants you destroyed. Listen to him bring up this insane idea again. Check this out.
What does the law allow you to do?
That's an active conversation with our legal department in seeing what the prospects are we have here in our municipality. However, what we've seen at the national level is a desire sometimes to write your own laws, to go outside of the bounds of legality. That's not something we have an interest in.
I mean, normally when people come to a UN General Assembly, they're granted a sort of amnesty because it is the seat of the United Nations. Is that what you're thinking that you'll honor, or you're actively looking to see if you can actually arrest him?
I think we are looking at all of our legal obligations, and one of them is with regards to the United Nations. But the other part of this is we're not talking about a personal assessment of Benjamin Netanyahu. We're talking about the International Criminal Court and the fact that they have a warrant out for this prime minister's arrest. And I think it's important to talk about the weight that has as a charge, and also that as the mayor of New York City, I'll be following the laws of New York City.
Okay.
Folks, do you understand how insane this is? The crew's looking at me like, Dan, did you catch the key part of this? The New York Times, the most disgusting pseudo-journalistic outfit out there. A total disgrace to humankind. The New York Times interviewer on this podcast is trying to talk sense into Mamdani. What is going on here? What is going on here? Are we in bizarro Superman land where everything's upside down? What is going on here? Is it the Seinfeld episode where George does everything backwards? The New York Times lady is like, dude, that's insane. You're going to try to arrest a foreign dig at the UN? Well, are you crazy? I didn't even have New York. By the way, totally, completely prohibited by federal law. Like, this guy's a nut. Folks, the unholy alliance of Islamo-Nazis and communists who have one goal: destroy you and your vote. One man, one vote, representative democracy. I can't believe you don't see this. They're saying the same thing. The communists love the International Criminal Court. We're going to get Trump. The commies in the European Union, we're going to get Trump. Mamdani, we hate the Jews. Yeah? What are you going to do to get him? The ICC. Wow. Aren't you an Islamo-fanatic? The commies just said the same thing. How do you not see this? This is the biggest information op on the globe right now. Using the red herring of the Jews to get you to put yourself in the flowery chains. Some of you will get that. What a scam. I cannot believe how many suckers are falling for this. People ask me this all the time. Why do you talk about this so much? Because it is the most significant and destructive info psyop going on right now in America. How they're getting a bunch of young kids to vote for their own psychological and political imprisonment is beyond disturbing. I want to show you this other video, and I'll take a quick break and I'll get back to it. Here is Mamdani Jr. in Michigan running for the United States Senate. This guy may be worse than Mamdani, which is hard to do. This is Abdul El Sayed, a candidate for the United States Senate, not the Michigan State Senate, the U.S. Senate. He is the leading candidate right now, primary hasn't happened yet, to win the Democrat nod for the United States Senate. He has asked a simple question by Jake Tapper. Nobody's going to accuse Tapper of being a MAGA guy. He's asked a simple question. Hey, bro, you refuse to condemn the Ayatollah who's responsible for the murders of tens of thousands of Americans, probably more, when he was killed by the United States? What side do you want? The guy can't even muster up the hair on his to say, like, yeah, that's probably a good thing for the United States, because they hate the United States. Do you not see the op? All he had to do was say, yeah, the Ayatollah was a scumbag. We're glad he's gone. He can't do it. The Ayatollah believes in death to America, and so do these guys. That's why they won't say it. Check this out.
20 weeks ago, when Iran's supreme leader was killed, you told your staff, according to audio obtained by the Washington Free Beacon, quote, there are a lot of people in Dearborn who are sad today, so I just don't want to comment on Khamenei at all, unquote. I thought that quote was interesting because the Ayatollah has killed tens of thousands of innocent Iranians, not to mention the proxies that Iran has funded that have killed innocent civilians all over the Middle East. Why were you worried about offending people who support the Ayatollah?
Jake, on a day where we're mourning the loss of 2 more service members in a war we never should have fought, I think all of us ought to step back and ask whether or not everybody in Michigan, frankly, everybody in America, shouldn't be sad about the fact that this president, backed by the prime minister of a foreign government, took us to a war we had no business fighting in. So yeah, I didn't want to comment on it then because it's a ridiculous pretext. And now you're asking me about the Ayatollah, who's dead, by the way, and you're not asking me about the service members who've died. You're not asking me about whether or not this war should have ever been fought. You're not asking me about whether or not the costs that are being borne by Michiganders in the tax dollars we pay or the gas prices that are insane right now are worth it. And so, look, let's have a conversation based in Michigan. I'm running for Senate in Michigan. And I think here in Michigan, all of us are probably sad about the fact that we went to war that we never should have fought. I'd rather our money be spent here.
I was specifically asking you about comments you didn't want to make because you didn't want to offend people in Dearborn, which is in Michigan.
Folks, I'm really seriously trying to contain the language. F this guy. This guy is an Islamo-fanatic, anti-American scumbag, an absolute scumbag. Jake Tapper. Jake is no MAGA guy. And the New York Times lady are trying to convince these Islamo radicals who hate America and align with the Ayatollah. Hey, are you guys freaking insane? Jake's like, I just asked you about the Ayatollah. And notice what this scumbag does. Scumbag. He brings up what? Trump and Netanyahu, again, knowing that people who are weak to this anti-Semitism virus will jump on the train with him. He wants you dead too. He can't condemn the death to America Ayatollah, given multiple opportunities. Did you miss it? Watch the clip. This is your homie. And I love how he says people in Dearborn, Michigan are sad over the Ayatollah. Who? They should be deported immediately. Who are they? Who are they? The world's leading terrorist who President Trump exterminated? Thank you, Jesus. And I'm not using his name in vain at all. And people in Dearborn are sad. Please, for the sake of the future of my kids, get out of our country immediately. Immediately. You are a clear and present danger to the liberty and freedom and safety and security of others. Please leave. Please get out. You are not welcome here. You're sad about the Ayatollah? Folks, do you see the op going on? Who supports him? This guy is clearly an Islamo fanatic. He has just said as much in a lie by omission. Oh, I love America. I'm here about the soldiers. Will you condemn the Ayatollah? Nah, not today. Who backs him up? Who's this guy's homie? Abdul El-Sayed. Bernie Sanders, who's a communist. Communist Islamo fanatics. Communist Islamo fanatics. Common goal, exterminate you. Get you out of the way. How do you not see this? How are you missing this? I got more. You want to see more? I'm not stopping. I am going to expose these people if it's the last freaking thing I do on this planet. I am not going to let a bunch of kids fall in this trap. No way. Ah, man, I got a lot more. This next video coming up now. I want you to watch what it looks like when actual journalism happens too. Fox News' Martha McCallum has this Democrat socialist lunatic on trying to, United States sucks, capitalism sucks. Didn't your family flee here from Watch these morons when they're asked even simple questions. Folks, you ever actually looked at the ingredient list on your dog's food? I do. We got Lucy. On a happy note, we love Lucy. I tried meeting mine out loud. I couldn't even, I didn't even know what that stuff was. Is that even food? It made me realize I'm careful about what I eat. So I want the same good, high quality food for Lucy. That's my dog. So they called and they said, hey, give Sundays for dogs. And listen, Lucy's a pretty picky eater. Give Sundays for dogs a try. Lucy loved it. It was created by veterinarian Dr. Tori Waxman and designed to meet seriously high standards. Sundays starts with over 80% all natural meats, plus superfoods like kale, ginger, and blueberries. No fillers, no weird chemical blends, just real nutrition. And instead of high heat processing, it's gently air dried, so it looks and smells like real food, almost like jerky. It's also ridiculously easy, no fridge, no prep. You just scoop and serve. It's that simple. Lucy loves it. They just launched a new fish recipe made with 80% real fish, packed with omega-3 fatty acids, perfect for picky eaters. Lucy loves it. I've noticed more energy, a healthier crunch. She's excited when you crack it open. She's ready to roll. Make the switch to Sundays for Dogs. Go right now to sundaysfordogs.com/Bongino. Try it yourself. Get 50% off your first order. or you can use code Bongino at checkout. That's 50% off your first order. Here's the website, sundaysfordogs.com/Bongino. That's sundaysfordogs.com/Bongino. Support our sponsors or use code Bongino at checkout. Your dog will thank you. Check them out, sundaysfordogs.com/Bongino. 50% off your first order. Thank you, Sundays for Dogs. Okay, back to the show. The axis, folks, Islamo-fanatics, commies, goal, kill you. That's it. Sucker you, however. If they need to sucker you with an economic argument, the evil rich people stole your money. Get them. They need to sucker you with another argument on the Islamo-fanatics. The Jews did it. Netanyahu stole your money. They don't care. As long as you fight capitalism, freedom, liberty, and representative democracy. First, they get the Saturday people, then they get the Sunday people. I've heard it 1,000 times. Here's the communist nuts. Check out this guy. This guy's a Democrat Socialist of America co-chair, Gustavo something. I really don't give a damn what his freaking name is. He's just another commie to me. He's on Fox News and totally, completely unprepared, by the way. He doesn't think Martha McCallum's done her homework. So I guess he goes on Fox News thinking this is a great vehicle for me to propagandize moderate or conservative-leaning Republicans. Except he doesn't know anything even about his own backstory, apparently. Martha McCallum asked him a simple question. Aren't you from Peru? Didn't your family flee communism? I want you to listen to this dipshit's answer, which by any logic chain is embarrassingly stupid. Check this out.
Your family came here from Peru, really in the middle of the heat of the Shining Path. They were Maoist communist guerrillas in Peru. So why did your family come to America?
The economic situation in South America and in Peru was in a really bad place. But I think that much of what we could say is responsible for that actually was the imposition of capitalism and American imperialism in many cases is actually what brings immigrants to the U.S. coming out of Latin America. And
so they come here because they don't like the imposition of American imperialism in the country that they're in?
Yes, in many countries.
So they come here.
In many countries, there have been undemocratic coups that have destabilized countries, and that's pushed people out.
Oh, well, you would think they would want to go somewhere that wasn't imposing that on them if that were the case.
Folks, how are you falling for this op? Not you in the audience. You guys are smart. I read your comments. I read your emails, your DMs. Emails, not so much anymore, but your DMs I see. How are you so effing stupid to believe this moron? His family fled communism to come to the free market United States to get away from communism, and says the reason they fled is because of American imperialism. How stupid do you have to be to believe this idiot? So what do we always do, Justin? We just, the big AI machine, you've got a big artificial brain out there called artificial intelligence. Here's the great part about artificial intelligence. It's artificial. So even if your brain doesn't function because you're a moron, clinically or by choice, maybe your IQ is less than 80. That's why you're a commie. You have a surrogate brain that can do the homework for you. You can just go to Grok or any of these things, Chat, GPT, whatever. And this is what I put into, you can ask the same question I did in case you think it's like an integrity test. Just punch it into Grok. This is my account. Did capitalism and free markets destroy the economy in Peru? That's what that dipshit just said, right? Or just hinted at? Or was the communist revolution at fault? Neither capitalism nor free markets destroyed Peru's economy. Intervention, nationalizations and populist mismanagement, often tied to left-wing military and civilian experiments, did the primary damage from the 60s through the 80s. Free market reforms reversed the collapse. Young ladies and men out there, I'm not mad at you. I understand the world can be harsh and mean, and I get it. In this constantly changing economy, sometimes people get kicked in the balls. I'm not sitting here telling you otherwise. I've had market shifts. I've had companies I've invested in that worked. Some didn't, except Netanyahu didn't do it. Trump didn't do it to you. Sometimes the world is just a harsh place, and it's really tough news to have to give to people, but it's real. You want to make the world a perpetually harsh place with no chance for advancement? Then elect this guy Gustavo of the Democratic Socialists. Doesn't even know why his family left Peru. Elect him to see widespread blanket poverty, torture, imprisonment, and starvation. Yeah, you know what? Yes, this is I was going to put this in tomorrow's show. But here's the little mini rebellion leader in the Communist Empire Strikes Back movie that hasn't been made yet. Hassan Piker, who, by the way, is wealthy himself. This guy is the biggest fake tough guy. I'm trying not to say it, but I want to. You have ever seen in your life. A total waste of human DNA out there indoctrinating a bunch of stupid people about how wonderful socialism is, while, by the way, very wealthy himself. I want to see what he's giving away in being socialist, because sharing is caring, Hassan. Here he is in a clip. Hat tip DSA Watch, a great follow on X, by the way. You ever want to follow the Democrat Socialists of America and all their crazy bullshit? Great account on X. I found this one over there. Here he is talking about Mao Zedong, responsible for the deaths of tens and hundreds of millions of people, global calamities and famine. You can look it up, morons. Look it up yourself. This guy's freaking great. Check this out.
I got stopped by a cop who thought I was making fun of Mao Zedong, which I never would and never will. Mao Zedong is a one of the great leaders of this world, okay? A man who changed the entire universe, the entire planet, okay? For real, yes. I mean, there was a lot of fucking excesses, let's be real, but the People's Republic of China would not exist without Mao Zedong.
There was a lot of excesses, Justin. You mean the hundreds of millions of murders and the ethnic cleansing? What about the Uyghurs? Why doesn't Hassan Piker give a shit about the Uyghurs happening now? The extermination of Muslims in China. Why? Why doesn't Hassan Piker care? Why does he only care about Muslims when it involves Netanyahu and the Jews? Why? Why doesn't he give a shit about Mao Zedong's communist revolution and the current extermination of the Muslim population in China? Because he knows suckers won't buy it. He loves communism even if they kill Muslims. Listen to what I'm telling you. All of them do. They love communism even if it kills Muslims because they don't give a shit about Muslims. They give a shit about getting rid of the infidels, and the commies are a good tool for them to do it. Commies, Islamo-fanatics, same goal, exterminate you, the infidels. They tell you. He doesn't give a shit about there were some excesses? You mean millions of dead bodies? So just to be clear, they're very concerned about high rents in New York, which, by the way, are because of government intervention. That's a big deal, worthy of a revolution. But 100 million dead people, just one of those negative externalities that happens. This is a bad call on that one. What? Folks, the commies and the Islamo-fanatics, by the way, are going to turn on each other, too. They already have in China. Commies hate Muslims because their religion conflicts with the operation of a state totalitarian system. The only reason the unholy alliance exists now is because they need impressionable young people to get on board for the extermination of the infidel. They're going to turn on each other too. Wow, where'd you get this from? Is this ChatGPT? Oh, this is very, Justin just puts Mao Zedong death count, which he slashes out if you're listening to excesses. Estimates of deaths attributed to Mao Zedong's rule typically range from 40 to 80 million. 40 to 80 million. The population of the United States is only 330 million people. These include deaths from excesses, Justin. Here are the excesses: famine, executions, purges, forced labor, and violence. Not all were direct killings, but resulted from policies under his leadership that Hassan Piker wants more. Why won't he tell you that? Hassan Piker is a coward and a chump and a freaking loser and a dipshit who suckers follow. Like Abdul al-Sayed. They hate you. They're number one foamy finger death to America people. These people hate you. And they're using the schools to force this unholy alliance down the throats like the syrup of Ipecac to all of our kids. It is up to us. We are the leaders we've been waiting for. Stop waiting for someone else to grab your kids like the cat grabs the kitten by the nape and pull them away from this socialist magnetic impulse in our schools. Here's a teachers union guy. This is the California head of the teachers union, spouting the same communist ideology. These are the people teaching your kids. Not all of them. I love good teachers. I had great ones. But a good portion of them have fallen prey to this Islamo-fanatic bullshit, this unholy alliance, and they're jamming this shit right down your kids' throats. Check this out.
To fight back against this fascist regime, we need to be in the streets, wisely using our wallets, battling in the courts, and winning at the ballot box, the center of our democracy.
This is the California Teachers Union guy. He's not talking about kids that can't freaking read, which is a shit ton of them. I put that report up last week in the New York Post. Something like 50% of the schools in New York City, half the kids can't read or do math. They don't care about your kids. Just like commies don't care about Muslims and Muslims don't care about commies. They only have one goal: get rid of the infidel and destroy the representative democracy. Anywhere in the world, here, Israel, the UK, it doesn't matter. Neither communism or Islamo-radicalism is in any way going to be friendly with you being able to vote. Once they get you out of the way, they're going to turn on each other. I told you, they don't give a shit about Muslims, even these crazy Hassan Piker, Mamdani types. They don't care. Yes, no, they don't. You never hear them mention the Uyghurs, Darfur, anywhere else. They don't care about that. They go Jews because they know suckers will fall in line. They're coming for you next. They're coming for you now. I warned you, man. I'm telling you, one day if something happens, people are going to go back and they're going to listen to these shows and go, man, that sucker wasn't kidding. I'm telling you, this is an op. Yeah, it's maybe the biggest flag it of all time. Flag it. Flag, L. It's like master debater. You can't say those words fast. Flag it in the chat. I warned you, man. I've seen it. I've read it. I've lived it. I've stared these people in the face. This is the biggest op in global history. Global history. And President Trump on Thursday night, I was genuinely pissed off that a ton of media outlets totally buried the lead of what he was trying to get across. The Islamo-fanatics and the commies, China included, enemies of the United States, are using information warfare to destroy liberty and freedom. And one of the ways they want to do it is to F with our election system so that the vote doesn't matter. People lost faith in it. The lead got totally buried. Well, I'm not going to stop talking about it. Folks, one of the things I talked about on Friday's show that I'm going to bring up to you again is just like with government fraud, giving out government money by the trillions and having the FBI, DEA, and IRS chase people later, will do it. It's not going to fix the system. If we arrest 500 people, 500,000 took money. There's only 38,000 FBI employees, and working at any given time outside of managers and headquarter people, easily less than 10,000 agents. There is no way to go and arrest a lot of these people and indict all of them. We've got a ton of them. You saw it. But you're never going to arrest your way out of the government problem, the government fraud problem. Pay it and chase it is the worst idea ever. You have to stop the payments. We need legislative help. You need legislative help. It's your country. It's your tax dollars. Why am I bringing that up here? Because the second component of Trump's speech, President Trump, on Thursday night, was the election. Stop the flag it. You're killing Rhino. Sister Mary McGrath. We slow it down because this is one of the few shows that can like wreck a chat right away by just putting something out there. Thank you, Sister Mary. We appreciate it. The information op, the second component, is the war on our elections. Election integrity. You don't have faith in elections, you have nothing. I want to show you what it looks like. Oh, sorry, I got a little bit distracted there. Pay and chase doesn't work. Vote and chase doesn't work either. Yes, we are going to arrest people who voted illegally. It is going to happen when we find those cases, whether at the state level, local level, tribal, territorial, or federal. But having potentially hundreds of thousands of people who may vote, had someone voted for them, whatever it may be, vote and chase doesn't work either. You need the SAVE Act. You need the Save America Act. You need it. Vote and chase is not a system. It is a small Band-Aid on a gushing wound. You have to stop this with the SAVE Act. Now does it explain why the Communist Democrat Party, which has been totally hijacked by Bernie Sanders and AOC, is fighting so hard against the SAVE Act? Here's Brian Stelter in CNN talking about why they didn't cover the speech on elections Thursday. And they didn't cover it because they didn't want you to hear the truth, that our election system's in danger and that information ops are suckering people in to fighting against this stuff. Here's the king of information ops, Brian Stelter, the PP hoax guy, has the balls to talk about why these networks didn't cover the speech. Check this out.
Newsrooms monitored the speech, evaluated what was actually newsworthy, looked at the documents Trump was declassifying, and then reported on what happened. NBC and ABC both went on the air with special reports to explain that the speech had happened and to summarize what Trump had said, but most importantly, to contextualize it and fact check it, just as CNN did. Now, Trump was ominously claiming that the networks were part of a plot, but the only real plot here, the only intention is to remain reality-based and truth-based. Trump's election lies led to violence after the 2020 election. So this is a subject that really does warrant extra care and attention by journalists. And frankly, some network executives felt that it would be dangerous to just air Trump's speech live, in full, unedited, without knowing what he was going to say ahead of time. That's where we are in America. And we have been here before. I remember during some of Trump's COVID-19 briefings in 2020.
This guy's such a lying, sniveling piece of human waste. He's such garbage. Brian, you little slob. Number one, they have like Retta out there. You don't have to, you can actually control yourself now using these GLPs. You can stop eating the Twinkies voluntarily. A little bit of self-control would go a long way. I'm just throwing that out there. However, do you understand how stupid you sound to everyone outside of your didn't you lose your show, by the way, hilariously called like Unreliable Sources? You are a moron. Nobody takes you seriously. You promoted the ridiculous pee-pee tape hoax. You promoted the Biden's not cognitively damaged hoax. You covered for all of these Democrat scandals. And now you're upset that President Trump went out and released intelligence to the American people about a very real information op that could lead to a compromise in our election system. What was the lie? I saw it. You calling me a liar too? This is what an information op looks like. The left-wing media, it's actually an unholy alliance between Islamo-Nazis, communists, and the left-wing media. There's actually three parts to this because they all have the same goal: destroy the republic from the inside. Stelter's one of those guys. He has still not apologized to you for his litany of lies at CNN. What does he have to say about this? Here's Mark Wayne Mullen, currently running DHS secretary. He did a presser last week. I wanted to put this out last week, but I couldn't get to it in time for the show. Here's Mark Wayne Mullen talking about another staggering statistic about voter rolls in America. You would think the media would be concerned about this. They're not, because destroying the election system and faith in our republic is their goal with the Islamo-Nazis and the commies. That's why they cover this stuff. This got totally ignored. If you missed this, you're not going to miss it here. Check this out.
150,000 non-citizens registered to vote in just 4 states. Mind you, we have 46 other states. And just 4 states, we've identified 250,000 non-citizens registered to vote in California and Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Nevada. We also worked with proactive states to identify 28,000 non-citizens on their voter rolls, plus 400,000 individuals that are still registered to vote that are deceased.
How is this not a story? How is this not a, am I missing something? Do you see why vote and chase is never going to work to solve the problem? It's just a Band-Aid. You need the Save America Act. Well, how is that not a story? Where's that zero Stelter, Twinkie eating zero on that story? Trust in the media. Yeah, you can't put this chart up enough. Brian Stelter is the reason, 19% of Americans or something have faith in the media? You're the reason. Put down the ho-hos and the ding-dongs and do a little freaking homework and apologize for being a lying scumbag. I can't believe people take these people seriously. How is that not a story? China's engaged in, and I love how President Trump brings up in the speech that China hacked into voter rolls. And well, you can just buy that stuff. No shit, Sherlock. You can buy general voter data as a candidate. I've run for office. I can figure out if I'm running in a Republican primary in Martin County here in Florida, that Justin is a voter in the Republican Party and voted. That's all you can buy. I don't get Justin's address. I don't get all of the information. They know that. They're not concerned that China has that. They know that. The answer is they're not concerned because Brian has the same goals as the Islamo nuts and the commies. Destroy representative democracy in exchange for your totalitarian communist Islamo fanatic movement. That's it. That's it. Brandon Gill's a rising star. You know Brandon Gill on the House side? I love Brandon. Brandon's got a way of succinctly and calmly something. My blood pressure goes up during this show. You got to see some of the readings I get. They're like, here's Dan, here's the show. There's like a collapse afterwards. Brandon Gill has done an amazing job up on the Hill, articulating, I think, what we all believe. He brought up an amazing point about the SAVE Act. We don't get the SAVE Act, you're not going to be able to save America. I don't care what anybody. Lisa Murkowski, the Republican/Democrat, because she's both. She changes her mind on a whim. From Alaska, one of the reddest states in you, coming out against the SAVE Act. It's just typical Lisa Murkowski. It's just disgraceful. Quick break, and I'll give you a piece of good news. I'm really hoping momentum's starting to shift because without this Save America Act, folks, you're not going to be able to save America. It's probably the most aptly named piece of legislation in American history. Hey, if you're a homeowner, you probably thought, should I call American Financing to refinance and pay off this credit card debt? Then you second guess yourself because of the low mortgage rate you currently have. Well, check this out. That low rate, it's not saving you if you're drowning in credit card interest at 25% or more. That's the math no one wants to face, but it's costing you thousands. Here's the truth. If you're only making minimum payments, that credit card debt can follow you for years. That's why people are calling American Financing. They're saving customers an average of $800 a month by using their equity to finally break free from credit card debt. They've been with us a long time. It's a great company. You owe it to your family to see what's possible with American Financing. There's no upfront fees. There's no pressure. It costs you nothing to find out what you could save every month. And if you start today, you may be able to delay 2 mortgage payments. Call American Financing, the number, 888-994-7660. That's 888-994-7660. Or you can visit them online. It's a .net address, americanfinancing.net/Bongino. That's americanfinancing.net/Bongino. Thank you, American Financing. Back to the show. Here's what I was talking about. Brandon Gill is very, very good at articulating, using logic and reason very calmly. There's a place for that too. I get a little emotional because I can't stand people like Stelter and the liars and the frauds. They're just ripping this country to threads. But that's for another day. Justin's like, next he's going to start talking about masks and all that because I start to go lose my mind over that. I can't buy that people are this dumb and fall for this. Here's Brandon Gill on the SAVE Act, one of the best videos you're going to see today during the show. Check this out.
The reason that the other side of the aisle is opposed to this legislation is because it has the Save America Act in it. And we have seen time and time again Democrats fighting against Republican efforts to ensure that illegal aliens are not voting in our elections, which is particularly relevant, by the way, after 4 years of Democrats intentionally and deliberately flooding our country with over 10 million illegal aliens. Republicans are wanting to put some sanity back into public policy. It makes me wonder, perhaps, if any of our friends on the other side of the aisle who have so many great ideas for where our government money should go would support the Save America Act if we attached perhaps funding for puberty blockers for 3-year-olds to it. What if we attached a provision that defunded the police? Would they support the Save America Act then?
Folks, we need people to speak clearly. The reason the Democrats do not want election integrity, voter ID, and other measures to ensure the people we vote for are the people we voted for is very simple. Occam's razor, given all possible explanations except the simplest that requires you to assume the least. It requires you to assume very little at all when you come to the conclusion that the Democrats want cheating. That's why they don't want measures that would stop cheating. Look up Occam's razor. It's very simple. You don't need a complicated explanation. We want cheating to stop. Democrats don't want cheating to stop. Therefore, Democrats must want cheating because they think it benefits them. Folks, I promise you on my life, if they thought cheating in elections, the Democrats that is, was getting Republicans elected en masse, they would be, the Save America Act will be put out there by Bernie Sanders tomorrow, and AOC be doing a rally around the country for it. The difference is, I don't care who it benefits, Republicans or Democrats. You know what doesn't benefit? You, the American people, who need fidelity to the rules and the Constitution. If nobody believes the winner won, you don't have a free market conservative government that conserves our principles of one man, one vote, we the people, the consent of the governed. That's what conservatism is, conserving inalienable principles of human governance. Folks, when there's an information vacuum, which there's a lot of these days because of absolute goons like Brian Stelter and that just piece of garbage, Hassan Piker, they create information vacuums. We have not done a great job, traditionally, the Republican Party. Donald Trump's made some big headway, though. We have not done a great job of messaging. And when this information vacuum exists, stupid people fill it. But we have to expose these sources of disinformation. Brian Stelter, the New York Times. Mark Halperin's not a MAGA guy, like at all. But he does like bipartisan work. He'll go over, I think he does some Newsmax and some conservative podcasts. Here he is talking about the New York Times and the Graham Plattner. Why are you bringing up Graham Plattner? Because it's not about Graham Plattner. He brings up how the New York Times covered this up and it's still not apologized to their readers for not properly vetting this Plattner guy when they had the information. And he's like, how many chances are we going to give them? They blew the Russia hoax. They blew the Biden's cognitive decline story. How many times are you going to go back to the well in the New York Times when they lie to you like Stelter before you say, I don't like being lied to? This guy's not a MAGA guy. Check this out.
This reported monologue is not about Graham Plattner. It's about the New York Times, one of the most powerful institutions in the country. And it raises serious questions about what any powerful institution needs to have, which is accountability. In this case, the accountability that they owe their sources and the accountability that they owe their readers and listeners and viewers, their audience. It's about accountability, and accountability is about trust. And I've just been so disappointed in the New York Times. I read it every day. It's one of America's great institutions. But what they've done on this particular story from June 4th is of a piece with what they did on Russiagate, of a piece with what they did on coverage of Joe Biden's mental decline. These are failures of journalism in the first instance, and then compounded by the lack of accountability.
Folks, they've lied to you, the New York Times, over and over and over. If you're a Democrat in my chat, like, F. Bongino, he sucks, whatever. How do you deny that? They covered up Biden's cognitive decline when it was a threat to their power. They covered up the Russia hoax, the most disgusting, grotesque incident of government weaponization in the last 50 years. Why? Because they thought they could take out Donald Trump and lie to people. They covered up Plattner because they thought he was going to win. The only reason they threw him under the bus later was because his polls went down. You are being suckered by a huge information op happening right now. And Donald Trump is trying to expose it to show you this is real. There is a lot of money going into indoctrinating you and hitting you with targeted messages all the time. One of the biggest information op people out there, total op, was Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff would pump any op, anytime, as long as he thought it would dispose of Donald Trump and get him out of the way. Adam Schiff is a liar. He's a piece of garbage. He is a zero-character individual. His family should be ashamed of him. His country should be ashamed of him. He should hang his head in shame and resign from the U.S. Senate tomorrow. He is a disgrace to the country, the flag, our values, every single thing we stand for, he is antithetical to. He is a grotesque human being up there with Stelter and these other losers, filling an information vacuum with lies. Did you see this clip? They had John Ashcroft up on the Hill. Nobody knows the justice system like Ashcroft. No one's going to confuse him with being like a huge MAGA guy, though. But Ashcroft was up on the Hill, and he asks him a really simple question. This is at Todd Blanche's confirmation hearing. You think Donald Trump is weaponizing the department? You know, he goes after his enemies or whatever. And Ashcroft, you know, no huge MAGA guy, is like, you're totally misinterpreting everything that's going on right now with the Justice Department for your political gain. Here's why. Check this out.
Mr. Blanche has said that he believes the president has both the right and the duty to use the Justice Department to go after his enemies. Do you subscribe to that view?
I believe that the Attorney General of the United States has the right and responsibility to enforce the law uniformly. And if the law has been broken by the president's enemies, he has a duty. They do not become exempt from following the law merely by their enmity to the President of the United States. As a matter of fact, the people who break the law are in enmity with the people of the United States, whose expression of what is the law has been developed in this body, in the Congress of the United States. So we used to call people who break the law public enemies.
So I'm just trying to understand Adam Schiff's perverse, disgusting attempt at logic, because it's not logic. That if someone is an enemy of Donald Trump, that gives them, Justin, am I reading this right? Blanket legal immunity forever. They can never be prosecuted for committing an actual crime with information sworn to in a court of law because they don't like Donald Trump, which is like all of these zeros and losers. I'm just trying to, yes, because they don't care. Folks, people will fall for anything when we create these information vacuums. It's up to shows like this and other shows out there. I'm not the only one doing this, to fill that vacuum with information that matters. Do you know how many people out there are falling for this? The Jews did it. The Islamo-fanatic thing, the infidel, they're falling for it. Genocide, they throw that word. Then when you ask them about other cities, well, what about the genocide with China, with the Uyghurs? I'm talking about that one. Mao Zedong, Mao Zedong. Throw in Stalin next. They were all fantastic, just wonderful. What are you, a moron? Folks, some of these same people are falling for the climate change bullshit too. Why did I bring that up? I saw this weekend. Look at the numbers. Look, the show does facts, not Brian Stelter bullshit, okay? Rasmussen put this out. More than half of Americans, this is unreal. Do you guys read this? More than half of Americans say this summer is hotter than usual, and two-thirds suspect climate change is to blame for worse summer weather. You can look this stuff up. We're not even the Europeans. Like, we actually have AC. So I saw this response to this on X from @ChrisMartzWX. He says, thankfully, I have the numbers rather than opinions. You can look this up. Climate change, we're all going to die. We're going to melt. The average number of days per year in the U.S. reaching 95 degrees was around 18% lower during the 60-year period from 1961 to 2020 compared to 1901 to 1960. The number of days reaching 100 and 105 have also declined since 1895. You could just look it up, man. Even put a chart there for people who are like reading impaired, like the commies out there. You could just look it up, you know. We're all going to die. The globe is going to burn. You can look this up. The red-green axis, the commies love fake environmentalists because what's their goal? Get rid of the infidels and destroy the system. And they know you'll be a useful idiot for them. Hat tip producer Jim, who sent this one over. Here's another one for the Islamo-fanatic, commie, left-wing media, unholy alliance. You know they love to talk about communism. And when we bring up Mao Zedong wiping out potentially up to, 80 million people? We just did an AI check ourselves, right? When you bring it up, they go, real communism hasn't been tried before. Really? Here's a response to that dipshit, Bernie Sanders. Bernie's about corporate greed, but I wouldn't be careful. United Healthcare. So he doesn't like healthcare companies at all. But the biggest healthcare company in the world, the U.S. government, that, by the way, the Democrats shut the government down because Obamacare doesn't have enough money because the costs are exploding. He doesn't care about that at all. This guy, Mike BSKI on X. This is a great response. Producer Jim sent this over. He goes over how this is insane. How the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, was supposed to control costs. The government had to shut down because the Affordable Care Act is so not affordable. The government needs more money to pay the exorbitant prices. You're blaming everyone but the government. And then he talks about at the end of this, this is great. And you need this as ammunition when you're fighting your liberal friends, rhetorically speaking, who tell you, well, real communism hasn't been tried. He goes through a list of all the trials. He's like, hey, before you tell me capitalism hasn't been tried before, here's trial 1. Soviet Union. Trial 2, Cuba. Trial 3, Venezuela. Trial 4, China's Great Leap Forward. Trial 5, North Korea. Trial 6, East versus West Germany. Trial 7, Cambodia. How many dead people do you need? He goes on and on. How many more dead people do you need before you realize that Son Piker and Brian Stelter are morons? Or they're not morons. They're just an op. They are an op. They're lying to you. Don't be a sucker. We got the shirts coming soon. We're working on them. Stupid is a choice. Don't be stupid. You've got a surrogate brain out there. AI, even some woke AI systems, will still give you an answer on communism. That's how bad it is. They so desperately want to cover for it, but they can't. We still got a comment of the day, too. So we'll get, you guys picked one? We'll get to that in a minute. Hold on, I'll get to that in a second. On a lighter note, if you guys watch Haley at noon, rumble.com/Haley. We have Vince at 8 a.m. too, rumble.com/Vince, all part of the Bongino Report podcast family here. We appreciate it. But Haley broadcasts from the same studio. These guys do a quick turnaround. They flip this stuff around. I don't even know how they do it. I'm inside doing tomorrow's show already. Bang, bang, done. Once in a blue moon, I'll pop into Haley's show, but I try not to interrupt. But again, throwing myself under the bus. I know sometimes we bring up liberal Karens and Karens get mad at me and they're like, stop with that. I just showed you the video last week. The number one name of people who are annoying was like John and Dan. My name is Daniel John, but I throw myself under the bus too. This may be the worst timing ever. Haley's doing the show. Her birthday was the day before and I had to go, so I didn't get the chance to pop in and wish her a happy birthday on the air. Did you guys see this live? She's talking about this very serious, pro-life topic. And who busts in? What is 2 thumbs and busts in at the wrong time? The chat love, but this is like the worst timing ever. Check this out.
And I know there are instances where women can't get pregnant, and I'm not trying to be insensitive because I know infertility is heartbreaking. But I've heard of stories where a woman couldn't get pregnant, so her sister gave birth for her, or her sister became a surrogate, or her...
Happy birthday.
Oh my gosh.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Haley.
Everyone say hello to Dan. What is that?
This is the best. And by the best, the worst.
Look at the...
They crunch when you... Lucy loves those.
No. You take them. For Lucy and...
Like a whole box of them, so just film it on Instagram so you can all watch birds.
Okay. I'll see if she wants to play with it.
Happy birthday.
At you so much.
Whatever you were just saying. I don't know
I
who
will.
said. I think it was Audience Archive.
I'm talking about the evils of surrogacy.
Look at her. And seamlessly goes right back to the show.
It's a beaver.
You guys are great.
Birdie will probably freak out about this. I'll make a video about it later.
Lucy
but anyway,
loves
I was sort of done
it.
with my
I think it was
rant.
Audience Archive. It's Judy. Look at Haley. Just rolls right back. Listen, I warned Andy when he came over here. He's been here a while now. But I'm sitting there in the job interview. He comes into the office, which is in the back. And I told him, I said, brother, everything's fair game on this show. There are no like sacred cows. I'll just go, well, I bought this too. I'll walk it in anywhere, anytime. Thank you, whoever sent those. They were really cool. Lucy loves it. It's got like a little like, I don't know, like a cardboard type piece in there Lucy tears that thing up. We don't deserve dogs or animals. Justin was a little hesitant to put this video on the air, but whoever sent that for Lucy, and now I've got a cat in the house too. My daughter brought a cat home, Muffin. I didn't name him Muffin. You can make fun of me all you want. Some reporter I was chatting with about a totally different thing was like, you got a cat named Muffin? I don't have a cat. It's my daughter's cat. But whatevs. I saw the vet bill on the counter. It said Muffin Bongino. It sounds like something out of like a strip club. This is the craziest thing ever. She loves it. But we do not deserve animals. Animals are amazing. I saw this video. It's quick. I don't even know we tried to check. It looks real. But if it's not, it doesn't matter. The premise is good. Muttley's like crazy in the chat. There's this guy going to a pound and this dog in a who hasn't been rescued is sitting there and watches this dog. I don't even care if it's real or not. I just love dogs and I think you should see it too. Check this out.
Whoa, hey. It's okay, buddy. I'm not going anywhere. Hey, look at me. You're all right. Yeah, I've got you. That's it. You're safe.
I don't even care if this is real. Andy, you think it's real? It don't matter. Let's pretend it's real because it's fun. And you know what? I've seen dogs do that kind of stuff too. Poor dog in the pound, dying to get rescued. I wouldn't pretend it's real. And if it is real, it says in the thing that guy's name is like Carlos or something, even if it's fake Carlos. Good for you, buddy. Fake Carlos or real Carlos. We don't care. Either way, it's still an awesome video. We don't deserve animals. So thank you to whoever sent those things. Haley should give us an update if she actually, I don't think she gave it to Birdie at all. I get those, I want to see because I'm telling you, like the Muffin loves the damn thing too, scratching it up. Muffin thinks she's like a Siberian tiger. This little cat's like this big with a short tail. She's like, bows up, puts the hands up, goes after Lucy. You saw the video. She's got, you know that look the cats do? I never had a cat before. This is the first dog. Now my house is like freaking Jack Hanna's Animal Kingdom. I never thought I'd have any animals at all. Now I go to sleep every night. I got a bunch. Next thing you know, we're going to have freaking owls and shit in there too. Who's our comment of the day today? You know the rules, folks. 1776 Live Club. Once a week, we're giving away $1,776 to someone live in the chat. Why? Because we just like to give away money and we love our audience. You guys have been so good to me. It's a small way to pay you back. You want to see the rules? Bongino.com/1776. It's free. Win comment of the day. You're in the weekly drawing. One of you wins a cash prize every week. Our comment of the day today is Mystical 11122. Lucy hates communism. You guys didn't time that. They're perfectly timed for my dog segment at the end of the show. There are the rules if that was your comment. Lucy hates communism. She does. You know how I know Lucy hates communism? Do you guys know how I know this? Lucy has these treats. They're like ground up apples and yogurt or something. I don't know. The bag says like health bars or some shit like that. I don't even know. But she loves them. And when she sees them, she goes crazy. And if you it's like a little square, like cracker looking thing. The second you put it on the floor, you know what Lucy does? She goes to her bed and hides it because Lucy knows Lucy has to take care of Lucy before Lucy can take care of any of us. She hates communism. She's not doing the fake sharing is caring Barney shit. The hell is this show? Show's like therapy, man. I'm telling you. You do not need a psychotherapy. You know what you need? A good podcast and a great audience. It's the greatest thing in the world. Thanks again for tuning in. Please download the Rumble app. You can check out Haley at noon. She can talk about, if she wants today, how I had the worst timing in the world. Vince every day at 8. The Rumble app is free. Go to the App Store, download it. You can even watch us on your smart TV. Just go to the search button on your smart TV, put Rumble, download the app. You can watch for free right there. You can also watch on the web, rumble.com/Bongino. If you'd give us a follow while you're there, I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Justin, for putting together that graphic. I will see you back here tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Hey there, I'm Vince.
I'm Haley Caradia,
Host of Vince.
host of Scrolling with Haley.
You can always catch my show right here
on the Bongino Report.
live, 8 a.m. Eastern, weekday mornings.
Weekdays at noon. If you miss it, no worries. The show will always be
Right here
and
and
anywhere you find
a podcast.
podcasts. Thanks for watching.